Hey guys, I am here today at Gatorland in Kissimmee, Florida. Right now they are doing a special where Florida residents get in for half off. So we're going to go ahead and explore Gatorland and see the gators, of course. They have plenty of other animals, so come along with me. Okay, so we are about to take the Gatorland train, and it's going to go around the entire park, so let's see what we can see.
Fish and Wildlife Institute. Yeah, that name's really boring. So boring, in fact. Well, we changed it just 1 year later. We wanted some a little more some a little more pizzazz, some a little more showy. We decided to change our name to Snake Village. Yes, folks, that name is very scary, but not nearly as scary as half the people I met here in the state of Florida. But folks, we're not here about that problem. We're here about, well, Snake Village. You see, our founder, Owen Godwin, he realized that people back in the 50s were deathly afraid of snakes. So much so they didn't want to go to a whole village full of them. So, well, he turned to his wife, Pearl, and said we need to change that name. She said, okay, but let's keep it simple. We got a lot of gators, and we sure as heck have a lot of land. How about we call ourselves Gatorland? And we've been that name ever since, folks. We're the oldest theme park here in the state of Florida. We're even older than Walt Disney World. Now that is something to brag about. But that's enough of a history lesson because I'm not very good at history and I failed it back in high school. So let's begin our sightseeing tour. So folks, off to your left, well, that is a giant swamp buggy. If you guys want to check it out, well, head over to that swamp buggy building, which you saw off to your right. It's the only one with walls out in the middle of nowhere. But folks, you guys didn't hop on this train just to see a, well, swamp buggy. You guys want to see some wild animals, right? Yeah? Alright. In that case, look off to your left because there's nothing there. But if you guys look off to your right, well, this will be Morton and Sheila, two saltwater crocodiles. Now, these salties can get anywhere from 14 to 16 feet in length. However, they have been known to exceed 20 feet. However, in this next enclosure, well, this is why I'm driving the train and not flying the plane. Because in there we have two American crocodiles named Snap and Crackle, as well as one of our oldest and largest alligators, Pops. Now, for those who are paying attention, that's a Rice Krispie joke. And finally, folks, in this last enclosure, well, that is Daddy Dundee and his girlfriend Phoebe. Now, Dundee is a whopping 15 feet long and roughly about 1,200 pounds. If you guys don't think that's impressive, well, folks, he can launch his whole body out of that water about 2/3 of the way with only a single flick of his tail. But for you nature lovers out there, well, off to your right, this is our jungle croc walk. On the jungle croc walk, well, you should find two Nile crocodiles named Sultan and Sobek. If you guys find anything less than that, however, well, contact somebody immediately. For those of you that didn't understand the joke, it means one of them escaped. But don't worry, folks, it happens all the time. And if you guys think that one's a joke, it's not. It happened this morning. But folks, we are now entering in between two real live actual swamps. So keep your eyes peeled. Because if you guys see something cool, maybe a snake, gator, turtle, or whatever, I will stop this train and go get that animal for you for an up-close encounter. However, folks, if it's something venomous or even dangerous, well, don't worry. I have doors. I'll be just fine.
This says morning Bigfoot area.
There's a called Bigfoot here. Big cane.
Folks, we are now entering into our largest mammal exhibit called the Piney Forest. Why do they call it a forest? I really have no idea. There is not a lot of trees. But something we do have is off to your right. See, if you're wondering what all these black birds are, well, they're actually the black vulture. Protected here in the state of Florida simply because they eat all the roadkill we don't want to touch. But that's not the coolest thing about them. It's actually their natural defense mechanism, where they vomit all over themselves and then pee on their feet. But off to your left, well, you're going to see some of our zebu cows. Now, these zebu cows, they're native to India. And those humps on their backs are actually fat caps, where they store a whole bunch of moisture. They can last up to 3 months without a single drop of water.
I didn't know they had this yet.
But folks, off to your left, there's not an animal, but that is prime example of Florida marshland. You see, in Florida marshland, even though it kind of looks like solid ground, it can actually be anywhere from 4 to 6 feet deep in some areas of just water and mud. So always watch your step here in the state of Florida. But I see something really cool, so kids, If you guys want to grow up to be a gator wrangler and locomotive engineer, a lot like me, well, you guys can look forward to a house a lot like the one coming up on your left. That one's mine. I make minimum wage and I cry myself to sleep most nights. But don't worry, folks. Only the second half of that joke is actually true. But off to your right, and underneath those bushes, you're going to see some white-tailed deer. Now, they are hiding in the shade area, so just keep a very vigilant eye. But these white-tailed deer get their names because, well, those white tails. They use it to communicate with each other, basically saying, hey, there's danger nearby, or hey, it's mating season. We call it flagging.
Can you tell me why half of their hair is gone?
Well, folks, as we exit the piney forest, we're coming up to our Australian emu enclosure. Now, these Australian emus run anywhere from 30 to 40 miles per hour. Now, that's what I like to call some fast food. If you guys don't understand that joke, well, take a nice big bite of a turkey leg at Disney, and maybe you will. I can say that because, well, I used to work there. But, folks, speaking about food, off to your left, that is Pearl Smokehouse. Where if you guys feel brave enough, or maybe even up to the task, we do serve some delicious alligator nuggets. And just right next to Pearl Smokehouse, we have Gatorland's Legends of the Swamp Alligator Show, where the next show of the day will be at, I believe, 12:45. And if I'm mistaken, then you're going to be the only one at that arena, which I am sadly mistaken, so you should probably check out our 12:45 up-close encounter show. But folks, this is an optional stop. You do not have to get off here. Does anybody wish to leave? You can just, yeah? Alright.
I wish I could switch seats.
Last call? Anyone? Bueller? 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 Anybody understand that reference?
Yes.
Yeah?
Now I want to see that movie.
Glad you guys watch good movies. But it looks like nobody wants to leave, unlike my ex, so let's continue on the tour. But folks, off to your left, that is our Legends of Swamp Alligator Show. So, that's where us guys in the brown hats and the green shirts like to show off our skills with 8-foot-long alligators and try not to get bit. But that's not the only reason for that show. It's actually very educational. You see, a little girl just the other year was bit by a wild alligator. What she actually learned at that show saved her life. At least that's what they told me in orientation about a week ago. But folks, if you guys bring your eyes to the sky, well, that's the roof of the train. You're welcome. But if you bring your eyes to the sky outside of the train, well, that is our Screaming Alligator zip line. We've been voted one of the top 10 zip lines in the whole entire world by a guy that only rode about 10 zip lines. But off to your left, well, that's the back of the Bobcat Bayou. In the Bobcat Bayou, well, folks, we have Jabari, an African serval. He can jump anywhere from 9 to 10 feet straight up in the air and pluck a bird mid-flight. I wish I had that ability because I'd be in the NBA and not making minimum wage driving a train. I can't really talk at this part. I'll tell you after. They're waiting for Colin. We're waiting for Colin. Colin, come on, man. Hey, Colin, we gotta go this way. Hey, Colin. But folks, when they set up that show, they put us on the same frequency. So we interrupt each other. But folks, going back to it, if you guys do want to go up on that zip line, that brown building right next to the Up Close Encounter show is the place to go. But folks, coming up on your left, this is actually my favorite spot because I spend most of my time here. Because folks, well, off to your left, this is actually our alligator nutrition center. I mean, our petting zoo. Don't worry, folks, we don't actually feed off those goats to those, I don't know, alligators. At least not the healthy ones. That's also a joke. We actually do accept volunteers or just children that talk back to their parents. Children, if you're tapped on the shoulder or given a strange look by your parent and or guardian, well, good luck. Looks like one of the two up front is going first.
Have 3.
But folks, well, off to your right, that's a whole bunch of trees. I don't know what kind of trees those are because I'm not a botanist. And if I was, I'd be a lot lonelier than I already am. But folks, that's actually our 10-acre alligator breeding marsh. We have about 140 female alligators and 30 extremely large bull males. Now, It's us guys in entertainment that have to jump into that giant enclosure and collect all the eggs that were laid during mating season. But we do this for a very, very good reason. You see, a baby alligator out in the wild has only about a 1% chance of making it to adulthood. However, here at Gatorland, under our care and supervision, we can actually raise this number to be about 99%. Now that's pretty impressive if you ask me. That's also pretty impressive if you don't. Either way.
It's actually 2%. We'll make it up.
Well, folks, off to your left, just past that wall, you're going to see our splash pad. If you guys are boiling hot and feel like you may pass out, kind of like how I do, well, just run through there and you'll cool yourself right off. But folks, off to your right, in that little red hut, which the doors are open for your viewing pleasure, well, that...
Hello. Guys, I got some more. Let me get some. That's good.
Okay.
Don't take it all.
Give some to the flamingos.
Get some.
Go ahead.
Wow.
I'll check.
Put your hand back. Not scary.
Scaly.
Can I go in the
But
water?
snake. He's gonna bite me. I'm scared. Comes the other one.
He's like, me too.
Hi, baby.
Can you not touch it?
Oh.
Even numbers.
Turtle.
His name's Turtle the Turtle.
Probably 500 pounds or more.
500? Nah,
Sounds like
way
you.
more than that.
I wonder how old he is. Oh,
Probably old.
wait. Hi, Pet. Excuse me. Hi, Pet. I'm Jack.
Yeah, hold on.
I'm not proud of this one. I didn't get to pet this one. Take